Nebulousness is the enemy of an awakening. And it's like everywhere these days. I did a previous video on how misinterpreting enlightenment teachings is just causing so many problems, and this is one of the problems. Yeah, all this stuff is true. That kind of your mind doesn't really exist, but it does exist. Your emotions are all temporary. Everything's temporary. When you find yourself, when you actually um, have a moment where everything relaxes, you'll see that everything's nothing and nothing is everything. And this can just get turned into this total nebulous uh, teaching where, we almost deny existence. I find myself lately just literally trying to convince people that they exist. It's like, you do exist. Why else are you looking for enlightenment? Enlightenment is finding yourself. You can't find yourself if you don't exist. So just for a minute to try to help your work through this craziness, because the problem with nebulous is the same thing with good lies. A good lie is always going to be based a little bit on the truth. And what it does is it kind of just makes things just kind of not make sense. But the problem with nebulous teachings is not only does it make things not make sense, but it gives us the idea that there's something special about that there's something mystical about it, that's heading in the right direction. And so we kind of just go into these nebulous states. It's like, gosh, so many people, Buddhists these days, kids these days, right? But man, just literally believe that nothing matters. But really, everything matters. You know, we're human beings. We're we're made correctly. Yeah, we're crazy. Crazy the way we're supposed to be. you know. So just kind of feel nebulous. Just think about that word, nebulous, nebulousness. What does it mean? It's kind of like, drifting. You can't really put your finger on it. And so just kind of start noticing how many things are making you feel nebulous about life. Like, what's really happening? I don't know. The craziest teaching that we believe is that I don't know who I am. Yeah, we've been told that over and over and over again. When we get told stories over and over and over again, we believe it. Put yourself way back in time, and here in the United States of America, it's not that hard because we're literally just a couple of 100 years from the time where people were living naturally on the land. And we still have, lots of people who are holding those traditions for us. And can you imagine? Go back, hundreds of years. Native Americans, they're living all over North America, South America, living their lives. And can you imagine walking up to somebody like that? And, of course, you'd have to be able to speak their language, right? But try to tell that person that you don't know who you are. They're going to look at you like, oh, what do you mean? I'm, Shoshone, or and you'll notice that all of the names for all of the different tribes are the people. I am the people. I am the real people. And you would literally never be able to convince somebody that they don't know who they are. How have you been convinced that you don't know who you are, or even worse than that. I mean, yeah, I can understand being confused. I was confused for many, many, many years, but why have you been told that discovering who you are is a hard thing? That you have to go lifetimes and lifetimes living in this nebulous nothingness, not understanding the world until, I mean, so you're going to just drift through your whole life and like never really do anything, never really be yourself, you know? So just kind of feel nebulousness. It's like, what's making you be nebulous? Challenge it. Challenge it. Say, no, no, I can figure this out. There is something. I can see it. Fight the nebulous, fight the cloud. That's the cloud. That's that veil, that they say that, I mean, I can tell you all about the veil. When it lifts and suddenly nothing's nebulous anymore. So don't let the nebulousness of all these teachings that we have capture you. At least look at it. Look at it. You might be surprised.